eclipse. It's really dark out here right now. And I'm just giving a big shout out of reverence and gratitude to everyone doing our best to anchor the light right now. And this is an invitation to come together in a really powerful way over the next 5 Mondays during the eclipse portal, through the solstice, and the close of 2020, to receive some of the gifts that I've been blessed with and practice them together with Beloved Shasta. What we see in the projection right now, what we call patriarchy, is an over dominance of yang energy and undifferentiated yin. And what we're going to be doing over the next 5 weeks is the deepest yin differentiation, deepest yin sovereignty, embodiment practices that I've ever experienced, that I learned up here in the mountain. And it's really about making that fundamental reversal of resistance to accessing our bodies with our conscious mind. The sages have been telling us for eons that answers are within. Even Jesus, says the kingdom of heaven is within you. And I thought I knew what that meant, being energy worker, light worker for years, until I developed a relationship living as a solo backpacker, prayer journey person on this mountain. Our bodies are like an entire landscape, like an entire mountain within, that for most of us is very much not mapped. And for most of us, our relationships with our bodies are somewhere along the spectrum of something that we try to not be in at all, and just try to get it to shut up when it so-called, gives us grief. Somewhere from that end of the spectrum to at least being able to tune in to, get what we assume is a yes or a no intuitively. But even oftentimes that is kind of can be confused with what our interior conditioned reaction patterns and resistances from conditioning. So what feels like a no can be interpreted in different ways. And the power of yin sovereignty, as we use the most gentle, tender relationship with our own conscious mind to find the physical body as a safer and safer, more and more grounded place for the light to inhabit and stay circulating. So our conscious mind finds a home within the body. This is when our higher self steps more and more fully into the driver's seat of our lives. And we start to experience an empowerment of being able to authentically and lovingly welcome with gentleness those sensations that arise within us that are associated with resistance, with the yawn, grasping for certainty, to make the outside world better, to try to control what's in the projection, to try to fix what's wrong in our relationships. And before the thoughts happen, before what we would say is like a negative thought happens, there's something that's going on in our bodies first. And really, it's like an art that we learned to not inhabit our bodies, because our the depth of the capacity for our bodies to be mapped within our conscious awareness it's normal, it's natural, it's how all the animals live. It's how the the mother wolf brings her little wolf pups up to a higher elevation a few hours before the flooding rains come. It's accessible, and there's a depth of accessibility and a depth of just beautiful deliciousness of being alive that happens when we start to become masterful again at not just thinking, but also sensing. And we become masterful at anchoring light, not just when we carved out the time to be spiritual, but when spirit is inhabiting our bodies, and when we're having the difficult conversations, or we're seeing the disturbing something in the projection. And this light, we can anchor in 3 directions. We can anchor it down. It's a normal one where most of us are familiar with. The electrical energy is always trying to make its way to the ground. And there's the upward flow of light, the light information traveling up our spine, signaling to our nervous systems whether or not it's safe to anchor light in this moment. And these are messages that come directly from the body. And then there's the horizontal anchoring of light, and that's the light that activates through our interactions and even our mere observation effect on other beings in our projection, that it's safe for them to anchor light to. And showing up to an interaction, recognizing that eons and eons of synchronicities all playing out in the universe have all added up to this one moment in time, where the beings gathered in this time and in this place, whether it's virtual or in a physical space, to embody, evoke, and invoke the embodiment of more higher self energy into the driver's seat of the body minds of all involved. The capacity for the sacred medicine of the human to allow light to anchor horizontally through our vessel and the vessels of the beings in our midst, shooting back into eons of time of healing, eons of time of integration and wholeness, and the bliss that happens. with this masterful relationship with our conscious mind, our higher selves, our physical bodies, and all of the beautiful, intricate complexity of what's happening and circulating within these incredible, incredible vessels. Over these next 5 Mondays, it's a very potent time in consciousness that ends up impacting, especially these first 2 weeks, the next 6 months of our unfolding. And with so much bombardment of distraction, discombobulation, please, let's do this together. I'm here stepping outside of my comfort zone, making a video in the dark as the sun goes down with Beloved Shasta and Black Butte here. And I invite you to step outside of your comfort zone with me. And in a beautiful, loving, heart-coherent container, of light anchors, reverse that resistance to partnering with the body and cultivate together the capacity to masterfully lean in, and I mean inward, even amidst the discomfort, even amidst the grasping, even amidst that which arises within us, we would call a shadow that ends up popping us out of our bodies and into, negative self-talk. We're going to be rediscovering the depth of the capacity for yin energy to reign sovereign in that relationship between our conscious minds and our bodies. We're exploring the interior landscape of the miracles that we walk within. Becomes again a remembrance. And the deepest stable tool and resource that we have to navigate these rapidly shifting timelines in the projection. Orienting in that highest destiny timeline opening of iterations of unity consciousness. That first level of unity is the one that happens between the conscious mind, the body, the higher self, and the future self. Please join me. Shoot me an email, medicinalwitnessing@protonmail.com, and I'll get you the details. So much love, and thank you again for doing your part. And I hope to hear from you. Many blessings.